All right, everyone can hear me, right?
Yes.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the greatest show on campus this afternoon. We have a great lineup of acts today from all across campus. So, sit back, relax, let us entertain you. Feel free to laugh, feel free to applaud, and if it touches you in some way and you need to cry, go ahead and cry. So let's get the show on the road. Wait a second. Our first act is Frank, to This Little Light of Mine. Your heart beating, right? Thank you, Frank. Nice job. Our next act is Paul Perriton singing Moonlight Becomes You. Now, Moonlight Becomes You was written by Jimmy Van Heusen and Johnny Burke. Can anybody guess what year that was?
1942.
Well, he knows because he's singing it. 1942. There's many versions sung, but the best known version is by Bing Crosby. So let's see if Paul can sound like Bing.
Yeah, you know, that picture was made when I was 2 years old. Yeah, it was Bing Crosby and Bob Hope, and the name of the movie was The Road to Morocco, and the lovely young lady was Dorothy Lamour. And so in the movie, Bing falls in love with Dorothy, who is a Moroccan princess, and so he sings this love song. Stand there just a moment, darling, let me catch my breath. I've never seen a picture quite so lovely. How did you ever learn to look so lovely, lovely? Moonlight becomes you, it goes with your hair. You certainly know the right things to wear. Moonlight becomes you, I'm thrilled at the sight, and I could get so romantic tonight. You're all dressed up to go dreaming, now don't tell me I'm wrong. And what a night to go dreaming. Mind if I tag along? If I say I love you, I want you to know it's not just because there's moonlight, although moonlight becomes you.
Thank you, Paul. Our next act is Ralph Cusserow. It says comments from a career in pastoral ministry, but he told me there are interesting experiences from his career in pastoral ministry. You know, he's lived, little known fact, 14 years in Malaysia and Singapore. The longest place he lived in was Tanzania for 10 years.
Wow.
I mean, he doesn't look that old. Anyway, let's hear it for Cusserow. Ralph Cusserow.
I was surprised that Joel was kind of surprised that there were so many people here today. Joel, the reason they came was they heard I was speaking. At any rate, as he said, I'm a retired pastor. I want to share some interesting experiences that I have had as a pastor in the parish ministry. One Sunday morning, two little girls came to me and they said, "Pastor, we found $1." And I thought I'd have fun with them, so I said, "Well, tell me, is it green?" And he looked, I said, yes, it's green. I said, "Well, is there a big number 1 on it?" And he looked, they said, yes, there's a big number 1 on it. I said, "Is there a picture of George Washington on it?" He looked, said, yes, there's a picture of George Washington on it. I said, "Well, it must be mine because I lost it just a few minutes ago." One of the little girls looked up to me and said, "Pastor, in the ladies' room?" One Sunday morning when I was preaching, one of the men fell asleep and started snoring. And unfortunately, he was sitting up front by himself, and there was nobody close enough to sort of poke him and wake him up. The snoring got louder and louder, and so finally I stopped preaching and I looked at one of the other men. I said, "Would you please go over and wake him up?" He looked up at me and said, "No, you come down and wake him up. After all, you're the one who put him to sleep." One Sunday while I was preaching, all of a sudden I remembered I had forgotten an announcement. We had a bit of a problem and they wanted the board to meet and deal with that kind of quickly. So we were supposed to have a meeting right after church. So as soon as the sermon was over, I said, "I'm sorry, I forgot to make a very important announcement. There's going to be a meeting of the board right after church in the meeting room." And so after church, I got my robe off and went to the meeting room. Interestingly, the first person who came was someone I didn't even recognize. He was a visitor that day. I said, "I'm sorry, you misunderstood. This is a meeting of the board." He said, "No, that's exactly why I'm here." If anybody was more bored than I with your sermon today, I'd like to meet it. My wife and I raised 3 little boys, and one day one of them said to me, "Daddy, when you preach, you go into the pulpit and then you just stand there for a moment and don't say anything. Then you start preaching. Why do you do that?" I said, "Well, I asked God to help me preach a good sermon." He looked up at me and said, "Daddy, why doesn't he do it?" One day I dreamt I was preaching, and when I woke up, I was. My sermon was so boring, I had put myself to sleep. And so I don't put all of you to sleep. I'm going to quit here. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Ralph. Things better than I thought he did. Our next act, I'm going to watch that man right out of my ear. Anybody know what musical it's from? South Pacific, right? 1949, it was a Broadway hit. They made it into a movie in 1958. Please welcome our South Pacific honeys. They're all Lindas, or Schneider and Kretz. Rogers and Aaron.
Wait a minute. Technical difficulties. Sorry.
Okay. Ready? You don't have to worry about me anymore because it's all off.
With him?
Yes, I'm going to break it off with him before it even gets started.
You think you really can?
I certainly do. I'm going to do it no matter what. What do you think, Gracie?
Well, I think you should do it.
Okay, I guess so.
I'm gonna wash that man right out of my hair. I'm gonna wash that man right out of my hair. I'm gonna wash
Very good. Thank you. Thank you, Bob. Still working? Oh, no, yes, no, yeah, there you go.
There it is.
Our next act is Lois Watkins. You may know her from the play we had, the dinner theater play. And she's gonna do a poem. I think it says a little poem for seniors. Little known fact, she's a fan of Turner Classic Movies. She loves the old movies, especially for the outfits, the clothing, the style. She's been on campus for 2 years. Lois, come on up.
I got this in a message from one of my good friends that live here. And Peggy, you know who you are. And I thought it was so great I kept it. So now I'm going to bring it out for everybody. It's called A Little Poem for Seniors. So true it hurts. Another year has passed and we're all a little older. Last summer felt hotter and the winter's much colder. There was a time not long ago when life was quite a blast. Now I fully understand what's living in the past. We used to go to weddings, football games and lunches. Now we go to funeral homes and after funeral brunches. We used to go out dining and couldn't get our fill. Now we ask for doggy bags, go home and take a pill. We used to travel often, to places near and far. Now we get sore asses from riding in the car. We used to go to nightclubs and drink a little booze, just a little bit. And now we go home at night and watch the evening news. That's, my friend, how life is. And now my tale is told. So enjoy each and every day before you're too damned old.
Thank you, Lois. Nice job. It's not the Ukes, it's the Ukers. My mistake there. This is a group led by Sandy Faulkner. They've been practicing since like April. And they're going to do the song, How Much Is That Doggy in the Window, which was written in 1952 by Bob Merrill. Little known fact, Patti Page made this a #1 hit on the hit parade in 1953. She was the first woman to ever have a song #1 on the hit parade. Let's get started. Come on.
Yeah, that's good. Just a few comments while the group gets situated. We're told that a dog is man's best friend. So to all of the dog lovers, those who have dogs, those who had dogs, and those who are going to get dogs, this song is for you. We hope you enjoy it. If you would like to sing along with us as we sing, please feel free to do so.
in the window. The one with the waggly tail. How much is that dog in the window? I did hope that dog is for sale. Let's take a trip to California and leave my poor sweetheart alone. I hope if she has a dog, she won't lonesome, and the doggy will have a good home. How much is that dog in the window? The one with the waggly tail. How much is that dog in the window? I do hope that dog is for sale. Arf, arf! I'm read in the papers there are robbers with lights that shine in the dark. I love me a detector and scare them away with one heart. Arf, arf! How much is that dog in the window? The one with the waggly tail. How much is that dog in the window? I do hope that dog is for sale. Arf, arf! I don't want a doggy or a kitty. I don't want a parrot that talks. I don't want a bowl of little fishies. You can take a goldfish for a walk. How much is that dog in the window? The one with the waggly tail. How much is that dog in the window? I do hope that dog is for sale.
Yep.
Pretty good, what do you say? Think of all the money their parents spent on ukulele lessons, paid off. Paid it. We have a comic coming up next. Alan Schneider. He's been on campus for 2 years, and something very interesting, I think, that may affect most people you know. He invented the battery that's in everybody's cardiac pacemaker. He did that more than 40 years ago. And I think they're still in use today. So, welcome.
Mani, c'est dans l'espace juste les deux gestion.
Peut-être. There.
So grandma.
There. Well, pacemakers today are very, very, very smart. They know when you're exercising, so they can step up your heart rate. But back in the old days, they used to sell them with a magnet where you would take your magnet and put it on your pacemaker and put it back, and it would step your heart up. And if when you were done exercising, you would put it on your chest, and your heart rate would go back down. Well, one of the men I had talked to said, I went to the doctor and he asked me how's your pacemaker? And he said, well, things are going good, but my wife keeps hiding the magnet. A magician asked me to pick a card, so I took his visa.
That's not so good. Sure that way.
What rhymes with orange? No, it doesn't. You'll get that on the way home. I'm walking on the sidewalk and I found a bill, $20 bill, all wrapped up real tight. And I opened it up. It was dirty, but it was still good. And I thought, what am I going to do? This is a real windfall. I don't know what to do. I said, I know. What would Jesus do? So I turned it into wine. I'm going to keep that. Nothing refreshes my memory about my grocery list more than just coming home from the grocery store. As I've grown older, I've learned that pleasing everybody is impossible, but pissing off everybody is a piece of cake. Back in the day, we had to get up off the couch to change the TV channels. It was uphill both ways in the snow. It was terrible. It was throw that one away. On our way to church, I asked my granddaughter why it was important to be quiet at church. And she said, because people are sleeping. Every time I try to eat healthy, along comes Christmas, Easter, summer, Thanksgiving, or Tuesday, and it ruins it all for me. Has anyone lived long enough to buy a second bottle of Worcestershire sauce? Bus drivers, while they're working, when they drive past each other and see each other, they wave hi to each other. Hi, Eddie. Wow, that's when they're driving past each other and see each other, they go, oh! I like that one, you didn't.
We're going to throw that one away.
The first man said, you see what I did with all that corn? I cracked it. And the second man said, Jimmy, I don't care. Jimmy cracked corn and I don't care. Greetings to all you dads out there. May your WD-40 runneth over. May the lights be off in every unoccupied room in your house and the door stay shut, but the AC is running. Headline, dozens hospitalized after new hymn is introduced in church. No pity applause, but thanks. What inspires me most to get up in the morning? My bladder, mostly. A genie granted me a wish. I just wanted to be happy. Now I'm living in a cottage with 6 wee dwarfs and working in a mine. They said it couldn't be done, so I didn't do it. People think we get smarter as we get older, but we simply run out of stupid stuff to do. If you take a bit of olive oil and Epsom salts and rub it on a painful part of your body, you will immediately feel greasier and saltier. It's true, it's true. I always carry a pebble with me to throw at people who sing Christmas songs in November. I call it the Jingle Bell Rock. Paul, I hope we'll be friends until we die. And I hope we stay ghost friends after we die, and we walk through walls and scare people. Scare the Jesus. My friend texted me, he said, "What does IDK mean?" I said, "I don't know." He says, "Damn, nobody does." An Englishman and an Irishman go into a bakery, and the Englishman says, "We're going to go in and get some rolls." And he says, "I'm not going to pay for them. You distract the bakery guy, and I'll pick up some rolls." So he goes in, and he picks up some rolls, and he says, "Come on, let's go." So he's out. He's eating the roll. He starts munching the roll, but he puts it back in his pocket, and he says, "See, that's how you do it." And the Irishman says, "Yeah, but what you're doing is steal it. I'll show you how to get 3 rolls for free without paying anything." He goes into the store and he says, the grocer, the baker, he says, "Would you like to see a trick? It'll trance your patrons." And he says, "Give me one of those rolls." And he says, "Watch this." And he eats it, and he said, "Gives me another roll." The guy said, "You just ate the first one." He says, "It's part of the trick." He said, "Give me another one." He eats it. And the third one he eats, he takes it, he eats it, and he says, "See?" And the baker said, "That's no trick." He said, "Well, sure it is. Go out and look at the guy's pocket out there, the Englishman's pocket. You'll find the 3 rolls that I just ate." Hello, I'm your printer. I have become self-aware. Feed the ink or I'll print out your search history when your wife is home. Hello? You know, snow happens in November because people put up Christmas decorations prematurely. And they do. You know who you are. Stop it! How many Christians does it take to change a light bulb? Well, if you're a charismatic, it only takes 1 because your hands are already in the air. If you're a Pentecostal, it takes 10. 1 to change the bulb and 9 to pray against the spirit of darkness. If you're a Presbyterian, it doesn't take any because the lights will go on and off at the times they wish because they're predestined. If you're a Roman Catholic, it doesn't take any because you use candles only. If you're a Baptist, it takes at least 15. 1 to change the bulb, 3 committees to approve the change, and decide who brings the potato salad and fried chicken. If you're an Episcopalian, it takes 3. 1 to call the electrician, 1 to make the drinks, and the other to talk about how much better the old light bulb is. If you're a Methodist, it's undetermined because whether your light bulb is bright, dull, or completely out, you're loved. And you can be a light bulb, a turnip bulb, or a tulip bulb. Church-wide lighting services are planned for Sunday. Bring a bulb of your choice and a covered dish. If you're a Mormon, it takes 6. 5 wives to replace the bulb while the husband reviews the church lighting policy. If you're a Lutheran, it doesn't take any. Lutherans don't believe in change. Gotcha. If you're Amish, what's a light bulb? Now, somehow I dropped all these cards as I was coming up, and and this is no joke. Just like that, yeah. But let me finish off with one I remember. My wife and I are part of a Bible study group, and we were studying Genesis not too long ago. We were talking about a little known fact. It's not in the Bible, but it's a little known fact that Adam and Eve were the first people not to read the Apple terms and conditions. We're here all week, folks. Tip your waiters and waitresses.
Thanks, that one. You want this? Yeah, dude.
Yeah, I got them out.
Let's hear it again for Alan. Now, how they got this name, the Passavant 3+1, I'm not sure, because there's 4 of them. We all can add 3 and 1. It's John Stoyles, White Phyllis, Owen Miller, and Jim Dodson. This song was recorded by Hoagie Carmichael in 1930. Don't you wish you had a nickname like Hoagie? Isn't that cool? Let's welcome them.
How the Passavant 3+1 came about is when I was in the Marine Corps, I had a singing group, and we was called the 3 Jarheads +1. And then what I had I worked on a Reesdale Street for Duquesne Light, and I brought the name with me, and we was called the Reesdale 3+1. And now since I'm in the Highland area, we call it the Passavant 3+1. We've been practicing this song for 7 months. Can't get it right. Ere we forget the words. So bear with us. Our piano player Gladys.
No. Celia.
Oh, Sue. She still does sleepovers. First Holy Communion. Bar mitzvahs. And she still has her liquor license. Thank you. We're going to do this song called Moon River.
No. Not Moon River. It's Up a Lazy River.
That's close, isn't it? Yeah. Well, you can see why we had to practice this 7 months. And everybody got their cheat sheet? Yeah. All right. Well, I mean, Seal hit it.
Up the lazy river by the old mill run, the lazy
lazy river in the noonday sun. Linger in the shade of a kind old tree.
Forget your trouble, take a drink with me.
Up a lazy river where the robin's song awaits a bright new morning where we can get along. Blue skies up above, everyone's in love. Up a lazy river, how happy we will be. Up a lazy river with me. The lazy, lazy river in the noonday sun. Linger in the shade of a kind old tree. Throw away your trouble, take a drink with me. The lazy river where the robin's song awaits a bright new morning where we can move along. Blue skies up above, everyone's in love. Up a lazy river, how happy we would be. Up a lazy river with me. Up a lazy river with me.
One, two.
Happy trails to you until we meet again. Happy trails to you. Keep smiling until then. Happy trails to you till we meet again.
After this show, we'll be up the road signing autographs. We don't know what lot we're going to be in, but you'll find us. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Harmonized pretty well, don't you think? Our next act is Carolyn Minoski, Memories of Being a Babysitter. She's been on campus 6 years. Little known fact, she's a daredevil. She's a thrill seeker. She rafted the Colorado River. How about that? Is this okay, Owen? All right.
No, but I think I'm good. I thought I'd share one of my favorite childhood memories with you. It's the story of my first babysitting experience. I grew up in Ridgeville, and at that time it was a very small town. It's the kind of place where everybody knew each other. And I lived in a small neighborhood called Greenwood Place, and it was a neighborhood with lots of kids. And in the winter, we would play board games like Monopoly and Chinese checkers. And when it snowed, we'd go out sled riding. And then in the summers, we would play things like King of the Hill and Kick the Can.
That's good.
And it was the kind of group that when we played baseball, there were as many umpires as there were players. And one day my mother came to me and said she and another woman in the neighborhood wanted to go bowling the next day after school. And she wondered if I'd stay with that mother's child until they got home. So I said, yes, I'd do that. And now Winona was 6 and I was 10. And my mother said, good, her mother will make some dinner and you'll just need to warm it up. Well, the next day after school, It was one of those unusually warm days you can get at the end of February. Temperature gets up around 60. So I said to my friend, I know a stream where we can go wading and build a dam. Would you like to do that? And she was very excited. So we went. It was almost a mile away from our house. And when we got tired of that, I said to her, I know a place with big rocks we can climb, and we can jump from one to the other. And so off we went to our new adventure. In the meantime, our mothers didn't see us after school, and they were getting very worried until a friend of theirs called saying she saw us waiting. Well, now they were no longer worried, they were very upset. They locked the house and they got in the car to come and get us. Well, by that time we were getting hungry and we decided to go home and have something to eat. When we got there and found that the house was locked, my friend started to get kind of teary-eyed. When I was a child, there was one door on the house that was never opened. Actually, that door didn't even have a key. So I said to my friend, don't worry, I'll show you. We can get in through the coal chute. So after we got in and had our supper, I said, well, I think we ought to take a bath. So when our mothers returned, we were in the bathtub. And in the bathtub, I was not blessed well for this situation. And the yardsticks of today don't compare with the yardsticks of that. And so my mother did not ask me to babysit again. I think she thought I was a little too young, and I think she was right.
Okay, now you're in for a real treat. When my wife and I started dating, for some unknown reason, I just felt I needed to sing this song to her. And it's really a can't-miss romantic song. And she'll tell you about it when you're finished.
I have my megaphone.
Okay, but you're going to sing with me?
Not right away.
I'll build a bungalow big enough for two. Big enough for two, my darling, big enough for two. When we are married, happy we'll be under the bamboo tree. Boom, 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 boom. If you'll be M-I-N-E, mine, I'll be T-H-I-M-E, mine, and L-L-O-V-E, love you. All the T-I-M-E, time, you'll be the B-E-S-T, best of all the R-E-S-T, rest. L-L-O-V-E, love you, all the T-I-M-E time. Rack 'em up, stack 'em up sometime.
That's true. He won my heart that evening. I've never heard that song before, and I haven't heard it since, except when we sing it. But it reminded me that I was home because my parents, brother and sister, we would ride in the car a lot and we'd always be singing, or we would sing on the front porch in the summer times. So we were a singing family, and I didn't know he sang, but there he was. So here we are, ever since.
the return of Ricky Wingspan, or what really happened after Budgie's birthday party. Anybody here was at the dinner theater we had in spring? Well, Ricky's making an appearance to explain to us what happened. Now, Mark's been on campus for 2 years. Something really unusual about Rick, or Mark, is that he has hazmat training, which I'm sure comes in handy in his apartment, right? Welcome.
I hope you remember this, the people that were part of this show. And I was walking on campus one day, and I hear, hey Ricky, hey Ricky, hey Wingspan. And I turned around, it's Phyllis Stoll. And she said to me, you know what, I wonder what happened if there was a third act. What would happen to these people? So I said, well, let me figure this out. So Phyllis, here we go. All right. All right, Eris. Okay, Eris was the butler. Okay? He decided to leave Budgie's employment. He moved to Evans City, and he opened up a combination butler school and pizzeria. He decided that he'd like to expand his business, so now he's trying to get on Shark Tank in order to get additional monies. Nurse had a babbler. Okay, now, you see that girl next door smile? Behind that smile is a calculated woman who tried to help good old Barry M. Deep try to get rid of Budgie. Well, she lost her license as a nurse, and now, in order to make some kind of money, she is now working as a waitress at Red Lobster in Butler. Dirk Beltone. Dirk Beltone, he hasn't worked in 6 months. He lost his voice. He was announcing the championships of the Minnesota Mud Wrestling Championships, and like I said, he lost his voice. So if you see him on campus, just wave, because he can't talk to you. Barry MD. Well, the judge gave him 10 years for attempted murder. He's working in the prison laundry right now. And he says when he's finished with his sentence, he's going to move to Milwaukee where nobody knows who he is, and he's going to open a chain of laundromats called Suds Your Duds. Eric Von Earhart. Well, his career, unfortunately, is over now. He was sent to the Mayo Clinic for a diagnosis, and it turned out that he has a tin ear. So he's done. Isadore Graham Cracker. After the play, unfortunately, she had a nervous breakdown. And she was admitted to the Zelienople Home for the Really Goofy. And we understand that she's running around the halls yelling, I hate my name, I hate my name, don't call me Graham Cracker, call me Cookie. Sergeant Knott. Well, Sergeant Knott wasn't going to work for Holden Gun anymore, so he decided he was going down south to take a job and become the sheriff of Hooterville. Well, Sheriff Knott now just made the Guinness Book of Records. He now has the record for the most speeding tickets in a 24-hour period. Holding gun. Okay, detective holding gun. Business has been bad. So he took a second job. He's now working down in Dunkin' Donuts as a security guard. Now, you can see him, he sits in the back of the store, okay, he's got his hat on, he's got his trench coat on, he's got a cup of coffee in one hand, and he's got a chocolate donut in the other hand. His wife said he's put on 15 pounds since he's worked there. All right. Lady Ariel Dithering Nitty. Well, you know, she was supposed to be hanging out with me. She dumped me. She dumped Ricky Wingspan. She has a toy boy now that she's trying to get on Dancing with the Stars. Rena.
Oh, a dear, a female deer, ray a drop of golden sun. Me a name I call myself, for a long way to run. So a needle holy thread, love and to follow so. Tea and drink with jam and bread, and will bring us back to oh. Doe, a deer, a female deer, ray a drop of golden sun. Me a name I call myself, for a long way to run. So a needle folded thread, law and net to follow so. Tea and drink with jam and bread, that brings us back to do, bring me from so long, tea, do.
Thank you. That's the end of the show. I have one more slide.
Can I tell one more joke? No. I got one more here. Yeah, I'm gonna
make it quick.
Okay. Okay. There are new breeds of dogs for the American Kennel Job, allegedly. So there's a Collie and a Lhasa Apso. That's a Collapso, a dog that folds for easy transport. There's a Pointer plus a Setter, and that's a poinsettia, a traditional Christmas pet. And there's a Pekingese and a Lhasa Apso. That's a Picasso, an abstract dog. An Irish Water Spaniel and an English Springer Spaniel. That's an Irish Springer. A dog fresh and clean is found there. There's a Terrier and a Bulldog. That's not a good dog. There's a Bloodhound and a Labrador. That's a Blabrador, a dog that barks incessantly. There's a Malamute and a Pointer. That's a moot point. There's a Collie and a Malamute. That's a Commute, a dog that travels to work. And there's a Deerhound and a Terrier. That's a Derriere, a dog that's true to the end.
Ready for the hook yet?
And there's the last one, a Bull Terrier and a Shih Tzu. You figured that one out.
Okay, it's open mic now. Anybody want to come up? Thank you for coming. We appreciate the applause. Hope we entertain you for a while. The next meeting of the Residents Association is Monday. Hope you can come. We're having a wine and cheese gathering afterwards. Hope to see you then.